There we are.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Like to call to order Fortune Harbor Advisory Board, October 14th at 7 o'clock in the city council chambers. So be it. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cochran,
Here.
Mr. Wilsey,
Here.
Mr. Bethel, Mr. Lundy.
Here.
Mr. Rose,
Here.
Mr. Youngblood,
Here.
Ms. Faber,
Here.
Mr. Caruth, Mr. Matani.
Here.
Okay, please rise for pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, get a motion to approve the minutes from
I'll make
Last
a
month?
motion to approve the minutes from last month.
Second.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passed unanimous. Okay, do we have any communications? No. No persons to be heard, I see. Unfinished business? None? New business? I guess we just have one idea. So this kind of tells a story right here. We have an ordinance right now that says we're in violation.
Correct.
That's the way you see it?
I do, at the moment.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we went and tried, Peninsula Point. And it's not ideal by any stretch, but, if that's the way it has to be, until something else can change. Anybody go ahead.
If I could, I'd
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to discuss a few things with you about that. So the way this came about was, I actually watched them pull, this vessel up the ramp with tow straps of the vehicle. And it was just, it caught my attention because it was so loud and pretty obvious. So I looked at this, I called the owner, talked to him about it a little bit. So, I have some suggestions that we can throw out here to maybe try. I don't want to just arbitrarily say, no, you can't do any of this.
What kind of vessel was being towed?
It was the, seiner skiff.
Probably mine.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but it was a seiner type skiff,
Yeah.
a seiner tender. And.
Well, their power skiff is what gets launched there in that manner.
Okay,
So yeah, they're all power skiffs.
okay. So,
Related to the same fleet.
so my understanding, that's, about 12,000 pounds being,
Well, yeah.
being pulled down there.
Mine.
Well, And that being the case, I know there was a comment, and it might have been from you, that there was, stainless steel on those runners.
Yes.
I'm wondering, and I brought this for show and tell, these are high density molecular plastic drilled.
UHMW.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this could be added on top of that, those runners, to make it smoother so it will not, damage the concrete. So, I know that, and there's different types that you
Yeah.
can get and buy, and, I even got tensile strengths and things if anybody wants any of that. I don't know if that's, an option. The other option that when I initially talked, to the gentleman that had the launch permit, I said, hey, can you get some plastic, put it down, slide it down? He wasn't real happy about that. I've just been thinking about this for the last month.
Yeah.
And one of the ideas that I thought is, if you can, get some of this, make some strips, you can countersink these and try that. That might be an option. So you can still do it in that way. The main thing is, that I look at, and I'm kind of thinking, I have to raise my hand when something's being kind of out of the ordinary, and it even says, in the ordinance that, hey, if it's out of the ordinary, if it's not in compliance, is way somebody normally would do that. And that's certainly not a normal way to launch a vessel. And I guess my understanding as well is, his trailer is not a boat trailer. It's some other type of trailer. Is that correct?
It cannot be submerged.
Okay,
It does, it has a different set of kind of brakes than a boat trailer.
sure.
And they can't have those kind of brakes on a heavy haul piece of equipment like that.
Right. Okay.
It won't work. There's a whole different mechanism involved.
So,
Boat trailer and a heavy equipment haul trailer.
sure, understood. So I'm just trying to come up with some ideas. Maybe we could come up with some ideas of something that may work. So-
Well, the problem with that
Mhm.
is those grooves they put on it. Does anybody have a date of how long that's been there?
I did
the
not
ramp.
look that up, so my apologies. I forgot to look that up. I did not look that up.
Because we've been doing that method for 30 years. And there was never an issue till they redid it and put those grooves in there that were knocking the tops off.
Right.
I'm afraid that right there would be destroyed after one pull.
I have actually used this on ferry ramps, things like that. That stuff holds up very, very well.
As long as it's not being drug across something.
It actually does rub back and forth across on steel,
Okay.
on the ferry ramp, and it's held up quite well. So I'm throwing that out there.
No, it's,
I'm trying to come up with a solution. And I don't know if you have any other ideas, something else, but that's one of the things I thought, if you want to continue with that type of a
well,
method.
we've got some time here
Sure.
to talk, it's been talked about.
Okay,
There's about 10 of us that do it, use it. Probably twice up and down, at least once. The problem with the boom truck is gonna have nearly 3 times as much.
okay.
And I don't know if you have any clue what the state of the fisheries are.
I do,
Okay.
to a degree.
Like I said, we tried Peninsula Point. It is old school, no grooves, solid, just a slick surface.
Okay.
And we've been probably doing, I'm assuming that ramp's 15 years old. I don't, it's a little while.
Yeah,
Pardon?
I guess.
It's probably about that.
Yeah, I'm guessing, remembering. So yeah, it's what's acceptable where. I mean, in my mind, I'm simple. I mean, it's like, okay, let's ban all the tour buses because they're destroying the highways. It's where, usage.
And I agree with normal wear and tear.
Yeah,
I think normal wear and tear is within that ball green ball field,
Okay.
I think this is a little above normal wear and tear. So I'm just trying to come up with some solutions, thinking that might be something to look into. I don't know if, or at least try.
So so they back the trailer down the ramp, or do they just winch it up onto the trailer, kind of like the back of it?
yeah,
Same
and the
boat?
trailer is tiltable. It's a tilt trailer. So
Okay,
you get the lights as close as you can to the water without burying them. And then you tilt the trailer down and you just drag it. It's got stainless steel. It can't be aluminum. It won't work. We tried that. You have to put stainless steel runners on the bottom and they're slick enough they drag up, but there's the grooves in that
yeah,
ramp.
so is it,
It's knocked the tops off.
yeah, how far, is it like a boat length? that
Yes,
you're
yes,
dragging it?
yes.
So
A boat lift.
could you get like,
And
they have those like inflatable sausage things?
rollers deal.
Yeah. And,
I don't know.
and
Yeah, I know what you
roll it
mean.
up.
I've seen them work.
I don't know if that
Getting
would
them
be
underneath
too,
there, I don't know how you do that. You're still gonna have to be on the bottom to get them on the rollers. Those things draw about 3 feet of water.
well, I mean, if you nose it up to the thing, and you have a little bit of space of a boat length or so, and you put a couple of those in there, once you start pulling, it'll pull up on those. And at least then, like, the ass into the boat's still floating a little bit, so it wouldn't,
It's not floating. Yeah, no. I'll take this back and we'll think about it,
Okay.
work about it. And see what's
So you're
acceptable.
putting the emphasis on like you getting something like that or building something like that onto here?
No wonder the
No, it
skiff
had, it,
should be on the bottom of the skiff.
Yeah, it should be on the bottom
Yeah.
runner of the skiffs is what I'm thinking.
Right,
On the, you know, they've got basically runners, the keel, and then there's like two runners on
right.
either
Yeah.
side.
But are you
right?
putting the emphasis on the boat owner to
Yes.
do it?
Yeah.
that's what he's, yeah.
Well, how long, like? Cause you've been doing this for 30 years, like how much, I mean, it should. There should
You
be
didn't go
like
down and
evidence
look.
of,
Did you go down and look? at
I
these?
haven't
Yeah,
looked at
okay.
it.
Well, then I think the discussion at this meeting is moot. Cause if not, everybody's knows what we're talking about.
Well,
I mean, you look at a picture, but you need to go look.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Are you saying that there's substantial damage, not just,
No, well, this here,
Yeah, that
in
doesn't look
my,
like
in
much.
my view, in looking at it, is multiplied from what is actually, I was down there again today.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it, it leaves marks. But you go down and look at it today. And it hasn't been used in, the only mark I really seen was where my last haul out, because we did it at high tide on the south side. And I have the heaviest skiff there is. There's no doubt about it. And that's when this all came about. It's like the day after we pulled my skiff out.
right?
But you need to go down there in a little water and look.
But if you're doing this every year for the 20 years or 15 years that the ramp's been there,
Yeah,
I should go look, but from the pictures, it doesn't look like there's a huge amount of damage.
there isn't. It's, the way it was built with these little deals like this. And I could understand, but nobody came to the industry and asked us what we thought about it. Before it was like this.
Right,
And you go down and look, and so let's say it's 15 years. There's 10, 20. So do the math. That's probably 12 times 3. That's 1 year. So that's a lot of trips. And it's totally infeasible with a boom truck because there's only 2 boom trucks in town that could even lift one of the big ones. And they're both owned by fishermen. And so in an emergency, they can't be used. The only option right now in emergency, we've talked to Peninsula Point, and that's an airplane ramp. And there's no sidewalk, floating leg, and that's a good thing there because then it was built as an airplane haul out and it's still used daily as one. But in the state, they can't deny use by boats. So it's an either or ramp, but it was specifically designed for the old Grum and Goose. That's where they had their haul up there, and that's what they built it for. But we have used it in the last month because we had to get a skiff in OR. And that was the only option. We can't tow one of these things through town to go out and use Stephen Ring. They've offered that, but they've got the same old style as what is at Peninsula Point. But we're not gonna drag one of these through town in the middle of the summer. I mean, they're 12 feet wide, 15 feet tall. I mean, it just wouldn't, we won't do it.
well, I'm just thinking, you're saying there's 36 times skiffs go up and down this ramp in a year.
At least,
And for 15 years, I don't see a lot of damage being done.
but you folks, if you're at all interested about this, you need to go look at it.
Oh, look,
I went down and looked at it yesterday at low tide, and of course I hadn't seen it before you guys started using it. But I
So
didn't
what you're
see,
looking at is 15 years of use.
I didn't see these striation marks, like, at least I didn't notice them.
Well, right now, you can't even see them.
Yeah, I
They're
couldn't
all covered
see,
in moss.
I couldn't see anything that looked to me like damage, but I didn't see what it looked like when it was new.
Well, just look, we're outside the tracks is what it looked like new. But over time, they're all gonna get knocked off.
And I didn't
So
know
the
which side
situation
you
is-
used.
this,
Either.
this was a traditional use that the ramp has been used for, and the harbor department has stopped, said fishermen can't do this anymore, right?
Well, I raised my hand because I saw how this was being done. It's certainly a deviation from a normal way to launch a boat.
But it's not unnormal for that ramp. it is unnormal. I will not deny that.
Yes, it
But
is
as
not.
far as the
right.
usage on the history of
But
that
it's a
ramp,
normal way to launch a sand skiff, not a.
Yeah.
Not a.
conventional. Yeah,
Right.
and no, we've had long discussions and I'll take this idea up and might have to have the expense. I don't know what it's gonna cost us to do it, but it's what it is. But as far as it working? So right now, my skiff is so big and heavy
Mhm.
that when we launch it, we have a set of wheels that go on the back. Well, your skate comes down like this and it goes into your keels,
Mhm.
your two runners. We built a big roller wheel that with an apparatus that slides on the end of these corners of the skiff.
Mhm.
And we have a line tied up. So that helps on the launch. It actually rolls on the stern of the skiff, but the front will eventually come off the trailer and hit down. But your stern is still on wheels. And then we launch it out and it's much smoother than dragging it up. But there's no way you can get these wheels on dragging up because you'd have to have a diver every time. And then you'd have to get a method to attach them. They work great going in reverse because all the force holds them on there. But if you're trying to pull them up, and as far as your roller mechanism, I mean,
I mean, they
you
pull
can,
barges and stuff up on shore using those things.
the inflatable roller deals,
Mhm.
okay. So what's one of those costs and how long do they all last?
I don't know. I'm just.
Well,
I'm
right
just
now,
saying.
the way it's built, the only thing that makes any sense to me because the weight wise is to have a solid roller.
Mhm.
And you pull it up on the solid roller, but it won't roll because the way it's constructed, you got these grooves. And the grooves are at slant, they're not square. They're at a slant. And I'm not sure how you're gonna make that. If we're allowed to try it or test it, we're gonna have some head scratching.
I mean, that's what those things are made for, like hauling heavy.
They're still gonna be,
No,
On
whether or
borrowed.
not they're like too heavy to put into place without a,
yeah.
that might.
Well,
I mean, that might
finding
be the
that,
thing, 'cause if
that
it might-
particular thingy, yeah, I don't know. A lot of unknowns. So. But in case of emergency right now, we'd have to get the vessel to Peninsula Point because that's the only place we'd be allowed to pull it. Well, Peninsula Point from Bar Harbor's, what, a couple miles? If the skiff's broke anyway, somebody's have to throw it down and do all that from there. But there's I'm not letting this go but you guys need to go look if you want to be involved. Because I see the ordinance right here, and so that means the city council made these ordinances, okay? That's where we're,
Can we find out when the grooves were put in on the ramp?
I can. Yeah, I'll dig around, see what I can come up with. If I can find a drawing, see what year that was done.
yeah,
I guess my opinion, I don't.
you need to go look.
Yeah.
And then make up your plan, and think of how many pulls up and down the spin. And then we have a time when it was built. We have a calculator, we can figure out how many trips it is a year. Times that, times 15 years. It's at least, and they'll have records too, of Southeast Diesel, that's the folks that do it. I mean, they have a record of how many times they do it, so I can get those numbers. And have those exact. But yeah, it's what is acceptable wear and tear. Anyway, anybody, we're gonna have to table this.
Well, in
Dan?
these regulations here, it says unjustifiable risk. I mean, unjustifiable is a squishy term.
Yeah, it's a very squishy term.
What's justifiable? Well, to a sailboat owner, that's justifiable. To someone else, maybe it isn't.
Right.
I think that's where and like you say, you've been doing it for a long, long time. I don't know, doesn't seem like it's unjustifiable to me.
Yeah, but I certainly see you're
Thank you.
covering there's no term for that.
Yeah, and,
And
the
I
reality for
totally
me,
understand that.
yeah, thank
I
you.
do.
Appreciate
I
that.
do.
I appreciate
No.
that. And I understand where you're coming from, don't get me wrong.
I
And
understand.
that's why I'm trying to bring some ideas. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe we can come up with an in-between to make this work.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah. And I'm saying limit it to one side.
Right.
I mean, we can live with that too. You know, because we try to limit it to the north side to stay out of the way of the duck boat. I mean, we don't want to be in anybody's way because our operation takes a minute. You know, it's not instant. And I can't even believe it works. I mean, my skiff weighs 12,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And and a couple of them get launched at Canoes and Cove. Because the boys that live out north, they launch them out there. And two of them I know live out there. But yeah, we live in a small town, so
We do.
I understand all that stuff.
Well, it seems to me like, I mean, it seems like there's two parts to it. Like, if you come up with a best practice, whatever that is,
Yeah. Well, I told you how we
Protect the ramp.
launch them, and it's much, I don't know if it even. I never really could look, see, but we've used the wheels on the back.
Mhm.
On the big heavy ones. I mean, some of those skiffs weigh half that. But they're not quite the piece of equipment as the other one.
Well, then the other thing, if there's wear and tear, like more wear and tear, is, I guess, just coming up with a systematic way of deciding how much wear and tear that is and what that
Right. And that
cost
might
to
be,
public infrastructure is, and maybe that's,
the city council's.
yeah,
pretty-
but it might be
I
like,
mean,
it might be something where, it causes a little more wear and tear, but so maybe like sand skiffs, their launch permit costs a little bit more, and eventually that, over 20 years or something like that, helps pay for the next time that thing needs to be resurfaced or whatever, I mean, maybe the wear and tear is too much and that doesn't make it affordable.
Right. I think the best solution, at least in my mind, is maybe we can come up with a best practice. Try to figure out what's gonna work and what's not. Like I said, since, we started talking about this, certainly willing to work with you.
yeah,
I'm
well,
not
I'm,
trying to make it difficult for anybody.
well, I would, rather try, instead of putting them on the bottom of the runners, go crosswise. Because if you get it to sink. And if you get it to stay under the runners, once you got up on the runners, if it was crosswise, you might get away with it sliding for quite a while.
Yeah.
And that would be a lot less. But yeah. I don't know how it'd work. Bolted onto the bottom. I just don't know how long that'd last. Cause they built that thing so abrasive.
Yeah.
That's just my fear. I mean, I've
Sure.
seen a few things over time. But yeah, I'd like you guys to go down and look and tell me and I'll get the number of how many trips and I'll pass that on to me. So, could we punt this new business down a month? I mean, we're all gonna be here assuming this winter. There's not gonna be any. I can't think of anybody else's power skip or we'd need, and if we need to, we know we can launch them at Peninsula Point. That works just fine. It's just such a out of the way. And they've been very good out there. We can work with those people because we know them in the airplane business.
Is that private property out there?
No, state of Alaska.
Oh,
It was built as the old Grub and Goose haul-out.
yeah, I flew to them.
Yeah, back in the Grub and Goose days, that's where they put them on the beach to work on them, and that's where that hangar is. Well, now that hangar's private.
Oh,
And a gentleman works on, does airplane maintenance there, and he's got these really cool little dolly deals that cut a pickup off. And you just got the front two wheels and they hook onto a little deal and runs it right out there. Works really slick. But boat skiffs, they can't be denied access. They just have to get priority. And they're all good at it and nobody abuses it because it doesn't have a walkway. So to launch and haul, you have to stay in your skiff or have waders on. You know. It's easy on the launch, it's a little more difficult on the haul back. But okay, well, thank you for all your efforts here, and we're gonna keep charging on. So if we could put this back for next month, that's okay with everybody on the board? And in the meantime, I've really tried to get down there and look on both sides and really check it out. Director's report.
Director report, here we go. You guys have all seen this, but,
Yeah.
I'll hit the highlights here. The Harbors Yacht Club lease permit's been updated by the attorney. Yacht Club's been notified, time's gonna be scheduled to sign at City Hall. Just so you all know, the Yacht Club is actually an ordinance, and this new lease is based exactly off the ordinance. Well, this is what the ordinance says, so there's really no changes, nothing, it's all coming from ordinance, so there's no changes, you know. We're just gonna continue that lease, and instead of a 1950s date on that, we'll have a 2025.
Didn't they get us for the same price?
Yeah. Not for the same price as
Oh, it's-
1950, no. So that's what's going on with the Yacht Club lease permit. Mountain Point and Knutson boat launch, that status is unchanged from last month. I'm expecting probably in November to hear some word back of, what's gonna happen out with those parking lots. So that's my guess, sometime in November. Harbor Masters put together a winter reserve moorage plan. They've contacted vessel owners with their staff assignments. And just so everybody knows, all owners requesting stalls on the list have been provided the opportunity for winter moorage. So
I have a
that,
question on that.
yes, sir.
If I remember right from last time, maybe I'm misremembering, but it seemed to me somebody said the priority for getting the winter slips, the first priority was people that already had slips, but wanted a better slip for the winter. Is that correct?
Yes.
I don't think that's right, personally. And then second to that was people who didn't have slips. It seems to me somebody who already has a slip shouldn't have priority over somebody who doesn't have a slip, just because the person who has a slip wants a better one. But that's the way it seems to me.
The reason is.
Oh, I understand the reason.
Well, no. It's like, if we move a reserve board guy to a different stall, that opens his slip up for a guy that doesn't have a stall to go into his slip.
Yeah, I'm just talking about priority. Who gets first
Or
choice?
so if I take the guy that doesn't have a stall and put him in a stall, then the guy that signed up that has reserve stall, he doesn't get to move. But if I move the guy with reserve moorage, it's a 2-for-1.
You get two boats.
I can get two boats, make two people happy instead of only one person happy.
Well, the guy that has a reserve slip, he wants a better one because of the winter storms or something?
Yeah, and there's only two people that do that, and one of them didn't do it this year. There's only one guy that did that.
Okay.
And everybody got a stall.
Yeah, my buddy that raised the issue, I know he got one because he told me.
Everybody got a stall.
Good.
And there's actually people that didn't go on the list, and I believe they're still coming in. Is that correct, James? Asking
There's
for a
couple
stall,
of
and
people in this.
people are still getting stalls, so it's working out well.
Good.
On the port, Berth 3 Dolphin upgrades, that was a project that went out on the street. Initially, it wasn't bid. We just put that out again. I think the November 12th. That's supposed to, those bids are supposed to open. Industry's kind of tough right now, from what I'm hearing, is, there's a lot of work going on. We're hoping that somebody will bid on this, but I guess November 12th, we'll find out. Maintenance, emergency repairs were required in Bar Harbor South, Float 7. Piece of driftwood got caught up in the pile hoop, prevented the float actually from lifting, caused some damage. Our guys it took a couple weeks, but they got it rebuilt, got the folks back on 7. So they did a good job there. And 2025 cruise ship season's almost concluded. Pretty good season, safe season, and last scheduled Port of Ketchikan ship was 10/7, so that was last week, I believe. And the last scheduled Ward Cove vessel is this Sunday. And that'll conclude the season. And then again, fall and winter season will be utilized to plan future projects, start planning for the 2026 season. So rinse and repeat, here we go again. So that's pretty much the director's report. Anybody have any questions?
Could you remind us about the breakwater, which is the worst, the replacement of the breakwater,
Mhm.
which is causing, that north there to be not desirable stalls in the winter?
Yeah, we've been having, pretty much every 2 weeks, we've been having a meeting with Corps of Engineers. Still in the planning stage, they're getting stuff done, they're doing RFPs, they're coming up with, additional plans and cathodic protection and all these things for this new design. The plan is still to, get that new breakwater built this winter. And hopefully in the spring, they'll get up here and get it installed over the spring and the summer.
So they're actually thinking that close.
They are, but
Yeah.
I,
Well,
that's their hopes. So we'll say that, but they actually have another year to get it completed. So
Okay.
they actually have 2 years to get it done, but they're gonna shoot to try to get done earlier.
yes, sir.
So for the director here,
Yes, sir.
you'd think November 12th, is there any interest for these bids for the Dolphin?
I think so. I've got a pre-construction or a pre-bid meeting tomorrow with P and D, and we'll find out. A lot of it will be who shows up at the party, and the folks at P and D are going to put some feelers out to see, who's interested and who's not. So
How many dolphins is it?
it's one deep water dolphin and a couple of ballers. It's just it'll expand berth 3, and it doesn't really expand's a bad word. Nobody likes to hear expand, but what it will do, it will allow these bigger ships to more safely tie up, especially when winds and things. So it's a
So-
better design for these bigger cruise ships.
I wonder if Pool is big enough equipment to do it.
Pool is big enough possibly for the shore side, but I think the deep water dolphin has him scared.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. I can't speak for Pool Engineering.
Yeah, right.
I
was
can
just
hope
curious.
I can
I was
hope. but-
curious if they were curious.
Yeah, I hope they're curious.
Okay.
It seems to me that Deepwater Dolphin, when it was originally put in for 3, there were some issues, James might remember. Some difficulties, and I think another contractor had to be contacted to get those pilings, because they're in, my understanding, they're just about solid rock
Oh,
and they're deep.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
so there could be some
Probably.
blasting. Well, then they have to blast. They can only do that in a certain window.
Yeah, I'm not sure but I know there was some major issues, and the original contractor, I don't think was able to do it once they found out what involved.
Right.
That might be some hesitancy in contractors wanting to.
Yeah, I think there's folks that can do that work,
Oh, there is.
by all means. But we initially put this out to bid, and we wanted a shorter fuse timeline, and that was, hey, start this fall
Yeah.
and let's get it done by the spring. And there were no bidders, and they came back and said it was too short. We've got other work, long lead times, tariffs, all of these things have these guys real nervous.
Sure.
So that's part of the deal. I think that was the bigger deal the first time, is lead times, tariffs, uncertainty. And we're hoping by giving them another year, that we'll get some interest. So hopefully.
Could also be an issue of it's too small a job.
And that could be too.
Yeah.
Because it's not, there's other projects out there that are bigger numbers, and it's, they're gonna go for the lower hanging fruit that's better for them in the long run. So we'll hope.
And it has to be a solid dolphin. It can't be a buoy or.
Yeah, yes,
It has to be
yes,
solid.
it's a pretty set design.
Sure.
A question on the net float. There's signs out there that say it's only for active net repair.
Yeah.
But there's a boat that's been there for like a month and I don't see any activity around it. What's the story on that?
I think, depending on, whether or not a harbor master is allowed somebody to stay there, they sometimes do that. I don't know if James can
He's
speak to
broken
that.
down.
Oh, he's broken down.
Yeah, and if we had to move him, there was a guy there yesterday working on his net, or maybe that was today, I can't remember, it all blends together. So if the priority is people who need to work on their gear, if someone shows up and there's not room, then the guy would have to move, or we would move him. Winter time, not many people are using the net flow. He's broke down. We try to accommodate people as best we can.
And that's not a local vessel, is it? It was on its way through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Figured it was something like that. Cool. Anyone else?
I'm sure everybody got this notification on the drive down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing that got to be a big issue.
Yes,
It's an issue.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
big issue.
Yeah, we ourselves personally, we make sure if we have it from 10 to 2 and we get there at 10 and we're done at noon, we call the department and say, hey, we're gone. Well, it's always been an issue with flybys and some of them are not our own, they're our relatives. They just drive in and sit down.
Yeah, it's there and there's nobody there.
Nobody's there. And I could see,
That becomes the
But
problem where you have
is it
folks
right?
that will do that. They'll come in, they don't have a reservation, and you've got somebody coming in behind
yeah.
for a reservation, and now they're
And then
monkeying
they
up all
walk
the
away.
works, and people are calling, going, hey, what's going on? We've got to
Yeah,
send
yeah.
people down to get them off, to
Is
tell them
there-
to go.
Is
So
there signage down there
There
to
is.
this effect now?
there is,
I was there the other day, but I didn't,
Yes.
got to look.
there is signage there.
Good. Giant sign, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well,
Been there all summer.
yeah. Yeah, I could see.
So that was a friendly reminder, I think, that just went out
Okay.
for people.
Yeah,
Let's- It went to all harbor users.
Correct.
right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been living with that. I mean, it's a great facility. I mean, the placement and
Can I
everything
read
about that thing. Sweet. Well, 30 years. Don't hold your breath on that breakwater.
Yeah.
Breakwater's coming. They're gonna do it.
I know.
It may not be in.
Well,
a
we're
year.
not gonna do it the way I wanted it, but
Well, I know.
whatever.
I know.
It's gonna be what it is. Okay, that's the director's report. Future agenda items, election of a PHAB chairman and vice chairman / secretary. What are you looking at me for? It said, I read this deal here, it said 2 years. How long have I been here? Hey,
1 year.
the acting counts. Did you clarify all that?
I did, like,
Yeah, he just acting because they stepped down. Actually, Mark. Yeah, but is he just acting or is he the actual?
No, he's acting.
Acting.
I think Eric had expressed some interest. But it wasn't the right time for him to be able to.
Do it? Is you were once.
I was, but I had,
You also have your 2 years, you've got that grace period done now.
Or would that be next month?
so I was thinking Lee didn't show up,
Probably.
and,
I'll teach them.
I don't, personally, I think it should go up by a seniority, and since I already done it, between you three.
By seniority,
Seniority,
Eric is.
he's the senior chief.
wait, are we doing this next meeting? That's a future?
Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
So-
I could be gone too next, mayor could appoint somebody else, so yeah, next meeting would be.
oh, you guys have,
You get reappointed?
Next meeting?
Yeah, once the elections take place,
Okay.
it's the prerogative of the mayor whether he wants to keep me on or want somebody else.
I know the
After
mayor.
every election.
I
No,
I know the mayor.
I mean, I'm just
We all
mentioning,
know
I
the
know,
mayor.
I know I'll be back. I just wanted to
Yeah,
put that up. Yeah.
sure. Okay, so we don't have to decide this right now.
No.
Oh,
it's
great.
Future,
Okay. Awesome.
and I will not be at next month's meeting.
Oh, that, you know what happens then?
I'll be out of
You
town.
you know what happens then?
I know what happened to one guy.
You get voted in.
Okay, it's all gonna be good. Yeah, cool. Any board member comments?
Yes,
Okay,
since we are the advisory board, people tend to come to us when they have issues.
yeah,
I was notified by a harbor user that there was somebody had walked their dog down his float and used it for
Yeah.
for his dog to do his business. And I know that's been an issue in the past. I don't see it being a big issue now. Cause that will ruin your day
Absolutely.
when you step
many
in it.
times over. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had suggested a letter to the liveaboards, but I don't think you know which liveaboards have dogs. I'm not sure how
Bob and Norma's dog went away.
one would address it. I mean, people know better. If you're a dog owner, don't do this.
Thick.
You would
Um,
think.
You would think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I
Even-
tell you
even-
my experience on 8?
Yeah.
There was never an issue all summer, and then all of a sudden we got the dive fleet in, and a bunch of them have dogs.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we go, what is it, what this? I know Bob and Norma's dog is no more, and so we started looking around.
Mhm.
And what they do is the dog sneaks down the finger. So the owner might not see it,
Right.
and I noticed that on my finger
Yeah.
a number of times.
We'll tell the harbor masters to stop people with dogs and remind them to clean up.
There
after
you go.
themselves.
And that would probably be the most sensible way to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Usually we tell them, you guys clean up after yourselves, and if you see somebody else's dog, if you walk by and there's dog crap, it's best to clean it up because you're probably gonna get blamed for it.
yeah.
oh, I have more than once taken a hose and cleaned
Yeah.
up the dock because
You know,
it'll really ruin your day.
up in Wrangell at Heritage, I go up there quite a bit. They got little buckets.
Buckets,
Yeah, they got little buckets. They're not 5 gallon. They're,
yeah,
you
just
know, they're
a
small
gallon
ones.
bucket,
And they're tied to the dock so they don't blow away.
sure.
And they've got them spaced. And I think that's what they're for.
Well, our float, I know on 8, I can only talk to 8, is everybody's got a hose. And everybody now just leaves it, pulls them up around the head, and we leave the water on in the winter, usually trickling anyway. And so it's really handy,
Right.
you can grab a hose.
Yeah.
For that float anyway.
Well, I think for any float.
Yeah.
I was
If
just-
it persists, we can always put a letter in as well, just like we
Yeah.
did there,
Well-
if need be.
Yeah, but there's maybe a half a dozen people that have,
I'd be like that.
Dogs.
but I believe it is a citable offense.
It is.
They have an
Well,
Yeah,
department.
and the top of the ramp, they got the bags.
And that's exactly right. I was gonna say that. We even provide the bags for the.
Yeah, and a lot of folks come down and walk on the
Those bags
floats.
are Top of the ramp.
and bring their dog.
not
But
on
not-
the ramp.
But not a bucket.
No.
There is a bag dispenser?
There
Yeah,
is,
right top,
top of the
Yeah, you're
ramp,
right.
There is.
top of the ramps.
It's a bag dispenser, but not a bucket, right?
no. just-
Bag
Well, there's-
dispensers, and that's
There's
what, you
hoses
know,
all
you
over.
want folks to pick up after their dog.
Yeah.
And they can push it. There you
I was
go.
just telling him, they have that at Woodside, so they have,
Yep.
like, on all the walkways, they have a dispenser, and then they zip tie a bucket, so after you clean it, you can throw your bag.
In the bucket.
Yeah.
And then somebody's gotta empty the bucket.
Well,
Yes.
we have giant dumpsters up there
Okay.
that work good.
Trash cans.
Any other comments?
The usual, thank you to staff.
Yeah, thank
and-
you.
And the fellow board members.
Okay, hearing none, meeting's adjourned at. Oh, I got
7:44.
7:40.
7:44.
Just look at the team.